One of the nice things about motorhoming is the freedom it gives you. If you've got a weekend to spare, hey, you can nip down to the New Forest. You want to go on holiday for a week, the Lake District's beautiful. If you're feeling really adventurous, hey, go to France for a fortnight. But what if the travel adventure bug has really bitten hard and you want to go somewhere really exciting and adventurous, such as the Sahara Desert, the Kalahari Desert, the Gobi Desert, or even the Atacama Desert? I'm big on deserts. You're going to need something a lot more powerful, rugged and tough than your run-of-the-mill motorhome. Something like this, for example. Now, if you're planning an expedition, a really good place to start is here at Neen Overland, where they specialise in preparing 4x4 vehicles such as Land Rovers like this for long-range expeditions. And with me is Andrew Harrison Smith, who started Neen Overland 26 years ago.
Hi there, Andy.
Hi, how did you get into it?
I got into it through being in a farming family and having the opportunity to run the business at a young age after university and travelling around the world for 2 or 3 years and being brought up with Land Rovers. Suddenly realised I needed to look at diversifying from mainstream farming due to our circumstances, and was buying and selling farm machinery, and just applied that philosophy to buying and selling older series Land Rovers from the 70s, and the business has grown from there.
Have you been on any expeditions yourself?
Yeah, I've done quite a lot of travelling, overland expeditions and so on in Africa and Asia, and also while I was travelling previous to that through the Central Australia, and then in more recent times some fairly arduous extreme sort of winch challenge events off-road all over the place.
Sounds fantastic.
Lots of fun.
Now, I can understand that a Land Rover is an ideal vehicle for going on expeditions, but there's not much room inside. Where do you actually sleep when you go away in one?
Well, I'd say for the last 15 years, I think the roof tent's been a really popular result for that, a bit like we have over here, which is really easy to fit on the top of most vehicles, either on a roof rack or some roof bars. And the smaller tents are quick to put up, the larger tents tend to be a little bit slower to put up. But that's sort of been the most popular way to do it.
I've seen a lot of these on Land Rovers at shows, particularly at the Dusseldorf show in August. But there are a few things that concern me slightly. For example, they're a little bit of a faff to put away if you've got the awnings out, for example. And then after a hard evening's entertainment, when you're in camp, on safari, it might be a bit of a struggle climbing up the ladder, getting into bed. But the thing that really worries me is the idea of lions and tigers and giraffes and hippopotamuses and things running around trying to get in while I'm trying to get to sleep. Have you got anything a little more perhaps sophisticated, a bit more secure?
Yeah, well, what's happened over the last few years, we've been looking hard at how we can create sort of an inbuilt roof tent almost, so it's part of the vehicle.
Have you got one you can show us?
Yeah, we can walk outside and have a look.
Let's go. Andrew, you've got literally hundreds of Land Rovers here, including old ones like this, which I recognise as being a Series 1. It is really old, isn't it? 50 years old?
Yeah, it would be around that, sort of mid-50s, 107 station wagon, quite a rare vehicle today.
Wow. And here's one in Arctic white. Anything interesting?
Yeah, that vehicle has been an ideal travelling companion for 2 or 3 families. We've had various people who've had that vehicle over the last few years.
What, they buy them and then bring them back?
Yeah, they'll buy them and put a bit of equipment to suit their needs and then use them for a year or two, and then we'd probably have it back and then find another customer for it.
Do they hold their value?
Yeah, the resale value is very good on Land Rovers, particularly Defenders.
Excellent. Now, speaking of Land Rovers, here's a Toyota. Now look, what is this? It's demountable. It's got a pop top.
Yeah, we've got a Toyota Hilux with a demountable pop top on the back. And
is this one that you build?
This is one that would have originally been imported by ourselves a few years ago from California in the States. Yeah, it's lightweight, and also because the roof comes down, it's much nicer to drive, you know, on the motorways and so on, and much more stable.
I think I'd feel a lot more secure in this because I don't think a Tiger's going to get up that high, and you've got this nice solid body here. This is a concept that I think you're developing, aren't you?
Yeah, for a number of years we've wanted to try and apply the philosophy of the roof section of this into a bespoke body that's part of the vehicle, so it gives you like a walk-through ability from the cab to the living area, which we've now managed to develop on a Land Rover, and obviously also for Toyota in the future.
Have you got one you can show us?
Yeah, we can launch on and have a look at one now.
Excellent,
yeah.
Let's go. Yeah, eat your heart out, Tigers. Okay, so Andrew, here we are. We've got 2 Land Rovers here. One is the more traditional type with the roof tent up there. It's a brand new model, isn't it? But this one, this is an old Land Rover. What's about 30 years old?
Yeah, it started off as a 1985 Land Rover van, commercial van.
Superb, done a superb job on the paintwork, and the body too. This is aluminium.
Yeah, it's all aluminium with a strong.
Yeah,
we make it all at Neen Overland with a very strong inner sort of frame to coach build it all into the existing vehicle.
Yeah, it really looks like it's all meant to be together. It's beautifully designed, and of course it matches the original Land Rover aluminium as well. So Andrew, the fact that this is a 30-year-old Land Rover makes me think, how much does it actually cost to get a vehicle into expedition order, up and running and ready to go?
Typically people would buy something that's new to maybe 15 years old, and as I say, generally the cost can be from about 8 or 10,000 upwards. And we did have a guy that did take a Toyota from us, and that was a £8,000 budget, including some equipment. Wow. And we had another guy who had a brand new Land Cruiser, which we outfitted for him, and his cost was about 100, and they both drove back from Cape Town. So,
same journey, different prices.
That's right, and if you fancy it, here's the keys.
I would love to do it. Yes! The sat-nav says I can be in Cape Town in 3 months. Join me after the break and we'll talk to somebody who's actually done that trip.